Okay. Hey, it's John at the Netroots Nation conference in Minneapolis, talking to Jane Hamsher of FireDogLake. Jane, I think I kind of had just two questions I was going to ask you really quick.
Okay.
Just trying to do a bunch of these videos with folks. First question is, you are, I think, one of the more passionate bloggers as far as about the activism you do.
It's one word for it.
No, but why is that?
I just think that there's really no other reason for me to do it if I'm not passionate about it. I have had other careers, and this is certainly not the best paying one, but it really is just a very exciting place to be right now, and I think that we're at a moment where organizing online, we can have an impact, and I really like taking part in that.
But I mean, were you this passionate? I mean, you were in Hollywood, producing movies.
Yeah, I was, and I largely left because I didn't feel like the opportunity was there to produce movies that I was passionate about, that it had gotten sort of rigid and calcified and formulaic, and the approach to making movies, they didn't really want you to take chances, so it's difficult.
What do you say to people who think that that taking too hard line of an approach towards fighting people in politics just isn't effective?
I think that there is nothing that anybody is doing these days that's effective, period. We're kind of losing. So if you've got a beat on what's effective, let me know.
Last question I wanted to ask you about was the about Let's Get Real, which is this, for folks who don't know, in addition to the Syrian lesbian blogger who was a fake that we just found out about, there was also an American lesbian blog called Let's Get Real with a Z, that written by a woman, Paula Brooks, who we now found out is actually some 50-something-year-old married straight guy.
Ex-military.
Ex-military. And, the blog went into a lot of detail. He wrote about his, lesbian lover's, I guess, breast cancer and dying and getting the flag presented to him by someone at the Pentagon because she was former military. I mean, it was really in-depth to the point of being a little odd how well camouflaged this blog was. Do you have any impressions on that?
We just talked with the Change to Win people at lunch, who were targeted by the H.B. Gary, Palantir, Barrico emails, the defense contractors, who were trying to get the Chamber of Commerce to hire them to launch a social media war against Change to Win. And, we got to see with the H.B. Gary emails what a lot of those techniques were that these defense contractors are using. And the fact that this guy was, using a sock puppet identity that was very well developed, that the blog was really directed at discrediting Dan Choi, who's our fellow panelist. I mean,
it covered a lot of issues, but they did go pretty hard against Dan.
A lot of it was, we're liberal, boo Dan Choi, and that is really how, the sort of guidebook for sock puppets has them operating. I think it's very suspicious. I think it doesn't seem like anything I've seen happen natively in the liberal blogosphere. It feels more like the infiltration that the CIA or somebody had in the 60s to anti-war groups or the Black Panthers.
And obviously you're not accusing these guys of being anything with the CIA. You're simply making an observation.
Be a weird dude, ex-military dude who really wanted to be on conference calls with the HRC. I don't know. Okay. Could be, but the fact that he also gave the Syrian lesbian blogger her chances makes it all seem
right. That blogger apparently started randomly as a commenter on his site.
Yeah,
just coincidentally.
More investigation. I think there's unanswered questions here.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Jane.
Thanks, John.